This is Kindness Stories, where real emotions meet unforgettable moments. Get ready to witness how one act of cruelty turned into a life-changing lesson for an entire school, and how courage, kindness, and standing up for what's right can truly change the world, one person at a time. Asterisk, the first day at a new school is always nerve-wracking, but for 14-year-old Leanna Monroe, it was more than just a fresh start. It was her chance to finally escape a past she didn't want to remember. With her long, curly brown hair flowing behind her, a shy smile on her lips, and a stack of new notebooks clutched in her arms, Leanna walked into Oak Ridge High with quiet hope that this time the school would be different. Asterisk, but high school has its own set of rules, especially in the unforgiving social jungle of teenage years. And Oak Ridge High had its queen bees. Asterisk, Kenzie, Brittany, and Sierra were known for two things: style and spite. They sat in the back of every classroom like royalty on their thrones, their eyes constantly scanning for someone to laugh at, someone to whisper about, someone to break. Asterisk, and when Leanna walked into their first period class wearing a hand-me-down denim jacket, thrift store jeans, and worn sneakers, she might as well have walked in with a target on her back. Asterisk, from the very first moment, Kenzie narrowed her eyes and whispered something to Brittany, who laughed and elbowed Sierra. Leanna didn't hear the words, but she felt them. You always do. The way their laughter trailed behind her when she walked down the hall, the smirks when she answered a question, the eye rolls when she passed them in the cafeteria. Asterisk, but Leanna didn't let it show. Not on the outside. Asterisk, every day she tied her hair up in a high ponytail, kept her eyes down, and tried to blend into the background. Her mother had taught her to stay calm, to never give bullies the reaction they wanted. But sometimes silence hurts more than anything. Asterisk, it was a Wednesday when it happened. Asterisk, Leanna sat in her third period art class, sketching quietly, her hair falling gently over one shoulder. Mr. Dale, their kind but often distracted art teacher, had stepped out for just a few minutes to get extra paint supplies. The room was unusually quiet except for the sound of pencils on paper and the occasional whisper. Asterisk, Kenzie had been staring at Leanna for several minutes now. Something about the way her curls shimmered in the sun filtering through the window annoyed her, or maybe it was just the ease with which Leanna ignored her taunts. Either way, she was bored, and bored bullies are dangerous. Asterisk, without warning, Kenzie whispered something to Brittany, then stood up from her seat. She made her way slowly toward Leanna's desk, a pair of scissors glinting in her hand like a secret. Asterisk, before anyone could react, before Leanna even noticed, Kenzie grabbed a thick section of her ponytail and snipped. Asterisk, the sound was unmistakable. Asterisk, Leanna froze. Asterisk, the class gasped. Asterisk, someone laughed. Asterisk, but it wasn't funny. Asterisk, time stopped. Leanna's hand flew to the back of her head. Her fingers curled around the frayed, uneven edges of what was left of her hair. She stood up, turned around slowly, her eyes wide with disbelief, her voice caught in her throat. Asterisk, Kenzie just smirked. Oops, she said. Guess you needed a haircut. Asterisk, the silence that followed was louder than any scream. Asterisk, then Leanna ran. Asterisk, out of the classroom, down the hallway, past the lockers and into the girls' bathroom. She locked the stall door and collapsed onto the floor, tears falling fast and hard. Asterisk, she didn't understand. She didn't do anything to them. Why? Asterisk, back in the classroom, no one knew what to say. Mr. Dale returned a few minutes later and found the class quiet, still, and visibly shaken. Brittany tried to act like nothing happened. Sierra looked down at her shoes, and Kenzie, for the first time, didn't seem so proud of herself. Asterisk, but someone had seen it all. Asterisk, Maya Thompson sat 2 seats away from Leanna, a quiet girl herself. Maya had always stayed out of drama, choosing to keep her head down, but something about what happened ignited something fierce inside her. Asterisk, she stood up and walked straight to Mr. Dale's desk. Asterisk, I need to talk to the principal, she said. Now. Asterisk, and she did. Asterisk, by lunchtime, the entire school was buzzing. Students talked in whispers about the girl whose hair got cut, the queen bee who finally crossed the line, and the brave girl who spoke up. Asterisk, Principal Herrera called an emergency assembly. She stood on the stage, her voice steady, but her eyes full of fire. Asterisk, there are lines, she said, that should never be crossed, and today, one of our students was hurt in a way that no one should ever have to experience. Let me be very clear, bullying is not tolerated here. Not on my watch. Asterisk Kenzie, Brittany, and Sierra were suspended immediately. Asterisk, but the damage had been done. Asterisk Liana didn't come back to school the next day. Asterisk, or the day after that. Asterisk, it wasn't until the following Monday that she returned. This time with her hair cropped short, neatly trimmed, confident, bold. Asterisk, when she walked into school. The hallways fell silent again, but this time it wasn't because of judgment. It was awe. Asterisk Maya was waiting for her by her locker. Asterisk hey, she said, I like your hair. Asterisk Liana smiled. For the first time in days. Asterisk thanks, she replied. So do I. Asterisk from that day forward, everything began to change. Asterisk Maya and Liana became close friends. They started an anti-bullying campaign called Project Strong. Students together rising over negative gestures. They spoke at assemblies, ran peer support groups, and even created a wall of kindness where students could leave notes for others. Asterisk what started as one cruel act turned into a school-wide movement. Asterisk Kenzie never returned to Oak Ridge High. Rumors said she transferred to a private school, but even there, the story followed her. Actions, after all, have consequences. Asterisk as for Liana, she began to shine in ways no one expected. She joined the art club, where her illustrations of strength and resilience won local competitions. She spoke on podcasts, volunteered at shelters, and became a role model not just in school, but across the community. Asterisk her short hair became a symbol, not of what was taken from her but of what she had reclaimed. Asterisk, and what no one knew, not even Maya, was that Liana had been bullied before. Back in her old town, at her old school, she'd faced months of teasing because of her hair, her clothes, her quiet nature. She thought moving would give her peace, and for a moment, it didn't. Asterisk, but this time, she didn't break. She rebuilt. Asterisk because kindness isn't just about being nice. Sometimes it's about standing up, speaking out, and refusing to let hate win. Asterisk one act of cruelty. Asterisk one act of courage. Asterisk and a ripple effect of kindness that changed everything. Asterisk this is not just Liana's story. It's a reminder. Asterisk to speak when it's hard. Asterisk to act when it's needed. Asterisk and to remember that every choice, every word matters. Asterisk so. The next time you see someone sitting alone, someone being whispered about, someone trying to disappear, remember this story. Asterisk be the Maya. Asterisk be the voice. Asterisk because kindness isn't weak, it's powerful. Asterisk and sometimes it starts with just one brave heart. Asterisk.